The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back, X-Zone Nation. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, live and around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and on TalkStream Live. My guest this hour is a good friend of the X-Zone Nation, Bill Bean. He is known worldwide as the Spiritual Warrior. Bill is a world-renowned spiritual deliverance minister, exorcist, and is known as the Spiritual Warrior. He's also an internationally known author, lecturer, and paranormal supernatural expert. Bill is currently being featured on the Lifetime Movie Network series I Was Possessed, along with being featured in 4 episodes on the Discovery Channel and Destination America's Haunting series. Bill also appeared in the 2010 sci-fi movie The Haunted Boy and has appeared in many TV shows about the supernatural. Bill has given over 1,500 media interviews and has performed hundreds of deliverance exorcisms all over America. The haunting episode, Curse of the Mummy, which was the Caleb Weaver story, has won a 2015 Bronze Telly Award. This episode, along with John Drenner story, The Devil Inside Me, and the Intenzo family story, Portal of Doom, are from Bill's case files, and he appears in all 3 episodes. Joining me now is the one and only spiritual warrior himself, Bill Bean. And Bill, welcome back to the X-Zone, my friend.
My brother, it's always great to be back with you, and the pleasure's all mine.
Bill, I am dying to get into this hour with you. As you notice, I knocked out the 4 commercials that we were supposed to play after the news, but this is more important than commercials. And my producer is giving me a weird look because I'm saying that, but you're going to find out, Craig, because this hour, you and I are going to be discussing your recent cases along the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Let's get into this, Bill.
This is something that I had no idea. You know, as you know, Rob, I'm busy. I'm constantly traveling. I don't have time for anything. And a friend of mine sent me a video, I would say probably closer to 2 months now, 2 months ago. And she said, take a look at this. Take a look at this video. And I thought, you know, I am so busy. I don't have time to look at this. And I almost deleted it. And I kid you not, I just felt this urging in my spirit. Had to be from God to take a look at this. And so I did. I watched the video and I thought, okay, I'm going to disprove this right now, because part of this video was talking about this Mandela effect and how things are changing and names are changing and events are changing and scenes are being altered in movies and titles are being altered in movies and books and businesses and all these types of things. So then it got to the part to where it talked about the scriptures being altered in the King James Bibles. And I thought, I'm going to disprove this right now. So I grabbed my Bibles. I have 4 King James Bibles in my home. I have a Holloman translated Bible that I keep on my desk. And so I grabbed the Bibles. One of the Bibles, by the way, the main Bible that I use that travels with me is 20 years old. And I have another Bible that is 100 years old, and that's in the top of my closet in my office. And so I grabbed all of these Bibles, all King James Bibles, plus the Holloman Study Bible, and started to look through them, because in this video, it was saying that the scriptures in the King James Bibles were being altered. I thought, this is preposterous. There's no possible way. This is crazy talk. And so I grabbed my Bibles and I started comparing the scriptures that they had listed in the video with the scriptures in my personal King James Bibles.
Right.
And I know the Bible, Rob. I spent years in studies. I know the scriptures. And I looked and I almost fell off of my chair. These scriptures in the King James Bibles are now being altered. I mean, hundreds of scriptures. I've been studying this as much as possible in between traveling. And I'm telling you right now, hundreds of scriptures are being altered in the King James Bibles, starting with the Lord's Prayer. Now, I know this prayer because I pray it every day of my life. I've studied this thing. The Lord's Prayer is in Matthew 6, verse 9 through 13, where Jesus says, after this manner you should pray.
Right.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is done in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forevermore. That is how it has always read. That's how it was in the King James Bible. And now it is changed, my brother.
What verse in the Matthew is it?
Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 through 13.
All right, hold on. I've got my Bible out here.
Okay. Is it a King James Bible, Rob?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
All
because
right.
they're, for some reason, they've started with the King James. They're making these changes in the King James.
All right, so it's Matthew 6?
Yeah, verse 9 through 13.
All right, just give me a sec.
Sure.
Okay. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Okay. Now, are you sure that's a King James Bible?
Yeah.
Because in all of my King James, and thousands of people are saying this, in their King James Bibles, it is now changed. So the way it reads now is our Father which art in heaven.
Oh,
so
wow.
now it's who has been changed to which.
Right.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth. So on earth has been changed to in earth now,
Wow.
as it is in heaven. Now, for those who doubt this, punch up BibleGateway.com right now and look at Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 through 13, King James Bible, and you will see these changes. And so now, it's saying, in earth. We don't live in earth. We live on earth. And it says, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. That's changed.
Okay, in my version it says, forgive us our debts.
Yeah,
And
as we forgive our debtors. And it should say, forgive us our trespasses.
That's
so
right.
Our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us.
That's right. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Yep, for thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forevermore.
No,
so
I don't have that.
Wow.
It stops at, it says, and lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from the evil one.
See, it's changed. And I mean, this is absolutely insane.
Wow.
I almost fell off of my chair. I mean, that is just one example. You just won't believe some of these other scriptures. We have words now like matrix, bank, unicorn, naughty, gay, stuff, couch, suck, space. These words were never in the King James Bible, and they are in there now.
What's going on, Bill? What's behind this?
I really believe what is behind this is the Hadron Collider, CERN. And again, for whoever's listening, punch this up. CERN, capital C-E-R-N.
In Switzerland, yeah.
In Switzerland, yes. And in my opinion, that thing is opening up portals, doorways, gateways, stargates, vortexes, whatever you want to call it, and it is loosing things on the earth more. This is why I'm so busy, because so many people are being affected by these demons that are coming on the earth.
Wow.
And so that's just one phase. Now, the second phase is it's working in conjunction. And again, don't take my word for this. Whoever's listening, look this up. It is working in conjunction with the D-Wave computer. So it is this D-Wave. NASA has this. Google has this. These D-Wave computers, they're quantum computers. They have the capabilities to do superhuman things. I saw a video on this, and the man who was describing this, he was very excited because he said it was like these things have heartbeats. They have to be cooled at unbelievably low temperatures, and they can solve problems at the snap of a finger. So if you have this kind of technology that can do these types of things, then one, I have no doubt that the devil is behind this, and this is probably fallen angel type of technology. And two, if this is true, then that would be the explanation for our Bibles in our personal possession being altered in this way. And again, I'm just one man talking about this, but there are now thousands of people all around the world who are realizing this. And the thing that gets me the most, Rob, where are the church leaders? Where are the scholars? Where are all the big shots?
Exactly.
Nobody is saying anything about this.
Are they part of what is going on? And my question, Bill, is how in the name of heaven is there a computer or any force that has been created by man alone that is able to change the printed words? It's mind-boggling, and now I see why you nearly fell off your chair.
And to answer your question there, it is not human technology. This is supernatural, otherworldly, fallen angel type of technology that has come into the hands of man. And for them to be able to do these things, it's just absolutely mind-boggling. You know, and one of the signatures that I think in the scriptures here, now this is Exodus 13:12, that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix. All that openeth the matrix?
Whoa.
It's never been in there. I think this is a signature from whoever is doing this and making these alterations. This is just, I kept going on and reading more and more, and I do every chance I get, and it is just mind-boggling.
What are the main philosophical religious heads saying? For example, is the Vatican saying anything about this? Is the Archbishop of Canterbury?
I haven't heard a word, Rob. I haven't heard a word from the Vatican. I haven't heard a word. Now, of course, the Vatican, they don't read King James Bible, so they have their Catholic versions of the Bible, and they very well may not be altered. I don't know. I can tell you this. In my Holloman study Bible, which is an English translated type of Bible, the easy read type of thing, those scriptures have not been altered yet. So only in the King James at this time. It seemed like they've started with the King James, and I'm certain at whatever time comes, it'll probably be a short time, that they'll have the capabilities to alter everything. I have the Lord's Prayer in a picture frame that's up on my wall in my home. And that, too, has been altered. I couldn't believe it. I got up one morning, I looked at it, I showed my wife, and I was astounded to see that, too, has been altered.
Unbelievable, Bill. Unbelievable. The fact that those in authority, the Vatican, the Archbishop of Canterbury, and the list goes on and on and on, that they are not saying anything. As a person who likes to look at things not wearing rose-colored glasses, but in the realm of reality and in the light of the day, they must know what is going on, and if they're not saying anything about it, they are complicit.
I would have to, and I hate to accuse anybody of anything, but it sure seems that way. And, you know, why would they be? These people should be shouting from the highest buildings, the highest mountaintops, saying, you know, sound the alarm. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Here's another one, and you're probably familiar with this scripture. This is one of the most popular scriptures in the Bible. There are statues erected of this scripture worldwide, and it has been changed. So this is Isaiah 11:6, and the scripture used to read that the lion also shall dwell with the lamb, and now it says the wolf. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. The wolf. It's been changed from lion to wolf. There are depictions of this with the lion laying down with the lamb all over the world, and now it says the wolf.
It sounds like the fox is in the chicken coop.
No question about it. And people better wake up. I'm not coming on here to panic people or to try and scare anybody, but I'm urging the listeners, please open your eyes. This is upon us now, and it is super important for us to have our personal connection with God. And if we make God first and we keep God first and we walk in faith, strength, and courage, He'll make a way for us through these times that are upon us and these times that are coming. And for some type of supernatural force, guided by the enemy, no doubt about it, that could come and change these scriptures in this way is mind-blowing. I nearly fell out of my chair when I started looking at these scriptures in my very own Bible, Bibles, and went across them, and they're all the same, all changed. Even the 100-year-old Bible, all changed, and I could not, and I still can't, I just can't believe it. I can't. It's like a bad dream, but it is here, and it is upon us.
Is it possible, Bill, that we are being reprogrammed thanks to modern-day technology, that what we may be reading is not what is actually there?
I wish I had the answer for it, Rob. I don't know. What I do know is that I spent years in studies of the scriptures. I know the scriptures. I say certain scriptures like the Lord's Prayer every day of my life. I know it like the back of my hand. And when I looked and saw it change in that way, it just absolutely... wait till I get into some things that... they now say Jesus said, and you're not going to believe this when I get into these. And this D-Wave computer, it's saying that it gurgles and rumbles, a low tone, almost like a refrigerator working overtime. In some ways, that's exactly what it is. To harness the quantum effects on the superconducting material that makes up the machine's 1,097 qubits, the D-Wave guts are kept at almost absolute zero, about 150 times colder than deep space.
Holy crow.
These things are otherworldly.
Would this put us in the end times as we know it? And could this be what the book of Revelation was talking about? Not the doom and gloom that so many people have, envisioned as the end of the world, as talked about in the book of Revelation, but the end of the world as we know it.
As we know it, yes. I'm in total agreement with you. I think there's going to be a great purging on this earth. I think that God's allowing this to happen for a short time because of our free will, and I pray for everybody. I don't want to see anybody perish or turn away from God or anything like this. Now is the time to really strengthen our faith and to really come back to God and have that personal connection with Him. And He'll make the impossible possible for us. And whether that's evacuating us off the planet or just keeping us safe, just like Daniel walking into the lion's den, nothing happened. And I firmly believe that 1,000%. And to those, and they know who they are, that are doing all this evil on this planet and creating all this strife and chaos and these changes, They're going to have their day. They think they're God right now. They're trying to change the world in their image, after their likeness, after their kind. That's what this is about, Rob. And God is going to have enough of this. And when he does, woe to them. That's all I can say.
Bill, do me a favor. Turn to Genesis 19 and go to verse number 5.
Okay.
Exonation, Bill Bean is my special guest this hour. We're talking about the Mandela effect. And seeing is believing, Exonation. And we have been seeing change after change within the Bible. Bill has his Bible. I have mine here in our studios. And Bill, are you there yet?
I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Read what your Bible says.
Okay. And they called on to Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out to us, that we may know them.
Okay. This is what mine says. They called to Lot, Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them.
Yep. So it's already saying here that they did have sex with them. This is what's going on, Rob. And I found other scriptures that talk about eating flesh and all these kind of things. I mean, disturbing stuff is in this Bible now.
Is this the, you know, I had Pastor Harry Walther on the show a number of years ago, Bill. And he said, Rob, the mark of the devil, or the mark of the beast, he said, is not 666. He said it's WWW.
I've heard that as well, my brother.
Yeah.
And here's what I think is the end game. And again, I could be wrong. This is my opinion. If you notice, there's a lot of marketing out there, a lot of hype about man merging with machine. There's a lot of movies along those lines.
Trans-evolution.
Yes, and what's going to happen is with this D-Wave computers, there's several of them now, with this technology, this quantum technology, they are going to pitch this to people about accepting the mark of the beast, which I believe you could be right that the WWW is part of it, but I believe the end game is those chips. And when they're inserted into people, which people are already taking it, when they're inserted, I believe you will be able to link with those D-Wave computers, and they're going to pitch it saying that you will become immortal and you'll never have any sickness again or disease or anything, because the computer will control all of that. That's how they're going to get people to take the mark of the beast.
So what is this? A new beginning, a new Genesis? Where man that has created machine is going to allow machine to recreate man?
Yeah, and that's a counterfeit new beginning, new Genesis, exactly. And God is going to have an answer for that. I'll tell you that right now. I absolutely believe that 1,000,000%. So they can do whatever they want to do, try whatever they want to try. It really doesn't matter, because in the end, they are not God, and they are going to find that out, and they're not going to like it.
I would imagine, Bill, that you're seeing more and more and more evil each and every day.
Oh, no question about it. And, you know, so many people, Rob, my phone never stops. Texts never stop. Emails never stop. I'm still traveling like crazy. I'm trying to get to everybody as quickly as I can. Thank God. You know, I have people that help me, my great assistant, Melinda, and others that help as well, that it's just amazing. If not for Melinda, I'd really be in a bad way, because she helps to book these clients that I go to.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. It really is. It's very stressful. I try my best to get to everybody as quickly as I can, but there are so many people in need. There really are.
Bill, is there a common thread between the people who seem to be suffering or who are at greatest risk when it comes to this reprogramming, this onslaught of evil that you're seeing?
Yeah, the greatest risk is to live in fear. And when people get into the fear-based, trauma-based way of thinking, it's you're putty in the hands of the enemy, and that's how demonic forces become really empowered and gain in power, is through people's fears and then the negativity that's associated with that. So I often talk with my clients, telling them that it is important to step out of that and step into warrior mode, to where we walk in faith, strength, and courage, eliminating the fear. And I know it's easier said than done, but it is necessary now more than ever, because we see these things upon us and the things that are coming. It is very, very necessary for us to make these changes in the mindset. And if we can do that, then if we're walking in that faith, strength, and courage, then God will make a way for us.
Bill, you remember the days when the big topic was the subliminal advertising that was being exposed in the movie theaters as well as on television. Yeah. Now, with everyone having a video device in their hands, if some nefarious force, which I believe is being demonstrated by the Mandela effect, wanted to do a massive mind control project, they have the source. They have the ability now to penetrate each and every person who uses a smartphone, a computer. Yep. Bill, this is scaring the hell out of me.
And now these Fitbit devices, have you heard of them, Rob?
Is that the watch that basically... Yep. Yes, I have.
And that's got a chip thing in there. It's like a brain. And you take that out and download that in the computer, and that keeps track of every single thing you do.
And of course, with all the computer hacking that is going on these days, nothing is sacred.
No. And so I highly recommend that people not get those devices. Yep. They are not good, but it's so many things. And now they use people like John Bon Jovi in those direct TV commercials to tell you what they are doing. The power to turn back time. Yep. Listen to the commercial. Listen to what he's saying.
Bill, you and I have to take a short break at the bottom of the hour. Please stand by. Bill, if people would like to find out more about you, what would be the best way?
The best way to get a hold of me would be www.billbean.net or billbeanministries.com. And you can email me directly from the site. If there's anyone out there in need of spiritual deliverance or whatever it may be, don't hesitate to contact me.
Bill, stand by, my friend. You and I will be back on the other side of these short breaks. Exo Nation, Bill Bean is my very special guest, a good friend of the Exo and a good friend of mine. www.billbean.net, and something to think about over the next couple of minutes. Send me your emails, studio@xzoneradiotv.com or xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. You're listening to the X-Zone Radio Show, live and around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and on TalkStream Live. We'll be back. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. Bill Bean is my special guest this hour. www.billbean.net is the website. And I've got to tell you, X-Zone Nation, I am pleasantly surprised at the amount of reaction that we're getting from you right around the world. Bill, people are saying, how come we haven't heard about this? How come mainstream media is not reporting it? How come we're not reading about this in our local newspaper? How come we're not hearing about this in church? How come the politicians aren't talking about this?
Absolutely. And I'm telling you now, Rob, they're trying to suppress this. They don't want people awake. They don't want people talking about these things. And if their plan, goes according to plan, probably within the next year or two, we'll have a totally different book there called the Bible. And it's just absolutely mind-blowing. And I want to read this to you really quickly. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but Genesis
you go ahead, my friend. 14. We'll make time.
Okay, so in the Bible, always in the King James, when wine was mentioned, Wine is kept in wineskins.
Let's hold on. What chapter are you looking at here?
Okay, so this is Genesis 21:14.
Genesis 21.
So again, keep in mind that in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
water and wine were always kept in skins. It was always a skin of water or a wine skin. Now it is changed to bottles. And it says, and Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water, and he gave it on to Hagar. A bottle of water?
Okay, in my Bible, it reads, early the next morning, Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar.
That's what it should say.
Yeah.
A skin of water, and now it says bottle of water, and he gave it on to Hagar, putting it on her shoulder. It doesn't even make sense. A bottle of water, and that's what's in there now. And again, for anybody who doubts this, just punch up Bible Gateway, www.biblegateway.com. Punch in Genesis 21:14, and it will come up, and it reads, a bottle of water.
How come nobody talks about Seth?
Nobody is talking about Seth. Nobody is talking about anything like that, Rob. It is, we have so many changes in so many different ways, and I wanted to, before we go there, if you don't mind, I wanted to read this one to you.
Sure,
and this is going to blow your mind, just like the other ones. Now, this is Matthew 26.
Okay, hold on. Matthew 26.
45. And everybody has seen Jesus of Nazareth
26.
and how the depiction of Jesus in Jesus of Nazareth, where he is so troubled that he knows the time is at hand. He's on his knees in the garden praying, Father, if it were all possible, take this cup from me. He's sweating blood. He told Peter, yeah, I need you to stay awake. I need everybody to stay awake because the time is at hand. Okay, now the scripture reads, now it's been changed. It reads, and this is Matthew 26, verse 45, then cometh he to his disciples and saith unto them, sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. It should say, wake now. And now it says, sleep on now and take your rest.
Okay, once again, this is what it says as I'm reading it. No, Craig, we don't need that. Thank you, though, for thinking of me. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour is near, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of the sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer.
Unbelievable. So, again, there it is, plain as day, you know, and so we see these changes, and then furthermore, you're really not going to believe these. And people will say, okay, well, he was speaking a parable, and yes, he was speaking a parable, but Jesus never would say this, whether he was speaking a parable or not. I can't for 1 second believe that he said this. And this is Luke 19:27.
Luke 19:27. All right, just give me a sec here. No, you haven't turned into the Holy Roller Hour, Exo Nation. This is Rob McConnell and my special guest, Bill Bean. We're talking about the Mandela effect. And seeing is believing. Now, Bill, I have to tell you something. I had a lady on a couple of weeks ago talking about the Mandela effect, and I thought she was a nut.
I thought this, you know, again, I didn't know anything about this. And then when I first looked at the video, I thought the same thing. These people are crazy. They've gone nuts. This is impossible. And then when I saw these changes in my Bibles, and then, hearing that thousands of people, there's one lady, God bless her. She is, and she has a team of people that is assisting her with just dissecting the Bible every day, and they're coming up with new scriptures that have been altered. So God bless them for their diligent hard work.
And you know what, Bill? I'm going to find out the name of that lady, and I am going to call her up and apologize.
I'm going to send her the link. I'll send you the link with her name.
Do.
And I know her first name is Kathy. And God bless her for her hard work. And it's just absolutely
we're
amazing.
Talking about Luke 19:27. 1927. Okay, hold on here. 19. Okay, go.
But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
Wow. Mine says, but those enemies of mine who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me.
Yeah, there you go. I don't care if that's a parable or not.
Yeah.
I've never seen that parable before, and I don't for 1 second believe Jesus would even speak such a thing.
It doesn't sound like him, does it?
No. And then Luke 19:23, since you're there in Luke,
1923.
go to 19:23.
Okay, 19. I just got a message from somebody listening to the show, and they said, Rob, why do you have a Bible in your studio? It's very simple. It's the greatest book ever written.
Yeah, no question about it. And again, we're not here preaching a sermon. We're talking truth. And I pray that everybody out there listening really pays attention to what's being said here. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, you don't have to. But I urge you to go research for yourself, do the studies for yourself, and you're going to be astounded to find that these things have truly been changed.
Okay, so Luke, let me see, 23?
Yeah.
What verse?
1923. So
Yeah.
you were already at 1927, so just back up.
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
at
bit to
1923 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm
Wherefore
not. So,
then gave
hold
us
on.
not my money into the bank,
Okay.
that at my coming I might have required my own with usury.
Okay, so 1923? I'm sorry.
1923.
Okay, 19. 19.
And 23.
Sorry, Bill, I'm not as good at
That's
you.
all right.
Okay, all right, here it is. Why then didn't you put my money on deposit so that when I came back, I could have collected it with interest?
Okay. Just think about that for a second. Why would he even say such a thing in a parable? What in the world is this? I mean, this is preposterous. And the word bank absolutely was never in there. It was money changers.
Right.
The whole thing is just preposterous.
I've never heard a reference being made to interest before in the Bible. I mean, the interest in mankind, the interest in humanity, the interest in love, but never interest in money.
There you go. And then, while you're still in Luke,
okay,
go to Luke 17:34.
Luke 17:34. Got it.
Okay. Now, it used to read that there would be a couple in a bed or two in one bed.
Mm-hmm.
Now it reads, it says, Jesus is talking about the last days. There would be a couple in a bed, or a man and a woman in a bed. One would be taken, one would be left. Now it reads, two men in one bed.
Holy cow. Oh, wait a sec. Listen, this is, let me just read 33 to 37, all right?
I know, I was going to go to 35 next.
It says, two women will be grinding grain together. One will be taken and the other left.
And guess what it reads now?
What?
Two women shall be grinding together.
Ooh, they took out the word grain?
Yep.
Kinky.
Yep.
Oh, my Lord. And then in 37 is rather strange as well. Where, Lord, they asked. He replied, where there is a dead body, there the vultures will gather.
It's just absolutely mind-boggling. And again, we have scriptures that talk about eating flesh.
Yeah.
We have scriptures now that talk about he that pisseth against a wall. There's several of those scriptures that
let
I've found.
Let me ask you this, Bill. Is it possible that these changes, I don't know how they're being done. I really don't, and it scares the hell out of me. Is it possible that whoever is doing this is trying to update the Bible into a manner which society of today can relate to it, and that this could be, in fact, a way to get more people interested and back to the fold?
No, and I'll tell you why.
You just made me very happy by saying that.
By some of these things that are being added in. Here's another example, Numbers 11:12. And this, in Numbers 11:12, it's talking about, and I'm trying to give you a second to go there if you want to, that's in the Old Testament, Numbers 11:12.
Number is 11, 12. Okay, I've got 11. 11, 12. Got it.
Okay. So it goes on to say that, have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them, that thou shouldest say unto me, carry them in thy bosom as a nursing father beareth the sucking child. A nursing father?
All right. In mine, it says, did I conceive all these people? Did I give them birth? Why do you tell me to carry them in my arms as a nurse carries an infant? To land you promised an oath to their forefathers.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
A nursing father. So what's happening is this is part of a mind conditioning into acceptance. And look, I have no axe to grind with anybody. I love all people. I'm not against anybody.
Yep.
However, there are agendas out there, and I feel that one of the biggest agendas is pushing the homosexual agenda and pushing people into acceptance of it. Now, look, I have nothing against anybody. I'm not against homosexuals. I love all people. But I have conservative values.
Yes.
And I believe God's word that was originally in the Bible and the way he spoke. And again, I'm not judging anybody. That's between God and them.
Yeah.
However, you know, I have conservative beliefs when it comes to this. And I think that this is part of a conditioning of acceptance. You know, for instance, if another batch, another generation comes along and they read the Bible and they see all these changes, they're going to be like, what? You know, it's always been here. What is it? You know, this is what it says. And there was a New York Times article that came out, I think the day before yesterday, stating that God, Adam, and Eve were transgender. It's just unbelievable. And so, you know, it is, you know, that agenda along with, you know, the gun control, disarming the public and things of that nature. It's they are two of the big agendas right now. And maybe the day will come, and I think the day is already coming, because those who are in the churches under the 501c3 can no longer speak out about homosexuality, and if they do, they're in jeopardy of losing their 501c3. So this is a way of getting these preachers and pastors to stop talking about this in a negative way.
Well, that would explain why the political arenas in the United States are so wacky these days.
Oh, boy. It's that in itself.
Yeah.
You just look at that and you say, what in the world is going on
Bill,
here?
I have never seen so much negativity being spewed out by the media as you know, I don't call CNN anymore cable news network. I call CNN the Clinton News Network.
I'm with you 100% on that. I totally agree.
It's like reliving history again during the elections between Kennedy and Nixon. Now, what scares me is that Donald Trump may have his faults, like we all do, but looking at what he wants to do by changing the political agenda where the people get the country and where people get back what they have instead of we the people. You know, it's been I the person for so long in Washington. But this is the same thing Kennedy wanted to do, and look what happened to Kennedy. And
I pray for Trump, if he's really sincere in, you know, what he's saying and his actions, and I certainly hope he is. Boy, wouldn't that be something if he duped everybody. But if he is, then I certainly have been praying for his safety and for his family's safety as well, because I just don't, Rob, you know how the system is.
Yes. It's as crooked as a
someone comes
dog's,
along and they try to make changes in that way, they are going to try and eliminate that person.
Here's a scary thought. You know how we have the continuing war between Islam and Christians? Could what be... I would like to know, Bill, if these changes that you and I talked about in the Christian Bible are also happening in the Quran.
That is a great question, and I may have to do some research on that. Wouldn't that be amazing if those changes are taking place in that book as well?
But wouldn't it be very scary if they weren't?
Well, yeah, and again, that's an agenda as well.
Yeah.
So the agenda to me, and we also have these things I'm sure you're aware of. I just saw a video on this a few days ago that there was a satanic prayer and invocation done at a Pensacola, Florida civic meeting, and so this Satanist led off the proceedings with this satanic invocation and prayer, and this is happening more and more now. They're erecting all these statues. They are blatant in your face now with trying to promote Satanism, and they how about the program they just launched, After School with Satan?
Yeah.
I mean, this is absolutely mind-boggling, and it is right in your face, and yet they seem to attack the people that are Christians and that walk in faith, but yet others have a voice, have a cause. They can do whatever they want, however they want, and it's okay.
Things started going to hell in a handbasket, Bill, in my opinion, the day they took the Bible out of schools.
I agree. And now you can't even... I read another story about a little boy that was praying for people and all that, and the guidance counselor called the police, and they took this child home and told the mother he can't do this in school anymore and all this. I mean, this is absolutely absurd.
Whatever happened to the good old days when your day would start in school by singing the national anthem?
Yep.
And then the Lord's Prayer, the first class of every school year until I got to high school was Scripture.
Absolutely.
It gave your life. It gave your life meaning. It gave your life structure. And I was fortunate enough to go to schools within the cultural areas of Montreal, where we also learned about the other religions, the other faiths, and there was no such thing as political correctness, which in my opinion is the worst thing that ever happened.
I totally agree, and this is a concerted effort to silence people, to make them go along with the agendas that are laid out. That's what this is all about. It's taking people's rights and freedoms, and a lot of people don't realize this. But the more technologically advanced we become, the more imprisoned we become. And it is all part of an agenda and a plan. And this is why it is so important for us to have our personal connection with God.
And each other.
Oh, no question about it, because that's another part of the agenda, is to desensitize people to the point to where it will be nothing to walk up and shoot somebody or whatever. Just take a look at what's happening in America right now. In Baltimore, we had the riots here to where a lot of people were hurt, buildings were burned down. And now the latest is in Milwaukee, to where they've done that and have destruction there. And I think a lot of people are misled. And again, let me state this. I have no axe to grind with anyone. I love all people, but I am real, and I speak the truth, and I always try to speak the truth. And this Black Lives Matter thing, I think it is an engineered thing, and I'm not insulting black people or African Americans. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is this very similar to the KKK has become a hate group, and they are engineered by people that are really pulling some strings, and they are trying to cause chaos and destabilize our society.
And it's working because people are, like you said, being dumbed down. In my opinion, I don't care what color you are, whether you're white, blue, pink, yellow, green, avocado, all lives matter. And,
I'm with you 100%.
And, to put a blanket on all law enforcement officers that they're all bad, that's such a bunch of
preposterous
bull.
And
because they don't put on sad. They don't put up.
Rob, it's going to get to the point to where these men and women can't even do their job anymore.
They're
can't
not anymore.
Going to be, they
can't. God, when I was in the police force back then, it started. You pulled your weapon out of your holster. You had to do a report.
It's unbelievable.
The crooks don't do that. Bad guys don't do that. And what about like there was a police officer who was shot while he was filling up his patrol car.
Yeah.
That wasn't put all over the news.
Nope, they don't broadcast. When these officers who are in harm's way, whether they're on duty or off, they're probably in more jeopardy and danger when they're off duty. And, I think that man was in Houston, if I'm not mistaken, and he was filling up his, off duty, filling up his vehicle, and he gets shot. And, you hear lots of stories like this. I think there was another officer, if I'm not mistaken, in St. Louis that was wounded, and if he wasn't killed, he's in really bad shape. And you're not hearing about this. You don't hear these stories.
And I often wonder, what would happen if, and this is crazy. I know it's going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but in these cases where the white officer shot an African American, and these stories get nationwide attention, what would happen if a black officer was to shoot a white person?
It happens. It has happened. It happens all the time. And
But
there's no press coverage on that.
Exactly.
And furthermore, the Milwaukee incident, that was a black officer that shot that black male.
But did you notice in all the news reports, it was never mentioned that he was a black officer?
No, because the agenda is, and this is part of destabilizing society. No one is talking about this as well, Rob. There are UN trucks riding up and down the roadways in places like West Virginia and Ohio and out in the Northwest. And people are taking videos. They are seeing the UN trucks on the back of flatbed trucks as well, tractor and trailers all over the country. Nobody's talking about this. Why are UN vehicles here on United States soil? What are they preparing for?
Bill, I'd love to carry this conversation on with you, my friend, and whenever you get some free time, let me know. I'll have you back on, because this is a discussion, and this is material that we have to bring to the world, my friend.
I totally agree, and God bless you and your family. Thank you so much for having me on, my brother, and I look forward to coming back again, and God bless everybody out there that's been listening. And I'm just asking you, I am pleading with you to please open your eyes and take a good look at what's going on in this world right now.
www.billbean.net. Take care, my friend. Blessings to you and yours.
And you as well, my brother. Talk soon.
Bye-bye, Bill. Well, that's it for tonight, Exo Nation. I'll be back Monday night as we continue to investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology and all topics in between here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. So from everyone here in the X Zone, Craig in Master Control, my beautiful wife and executive producer, and by the way, she does the news, Laura Rogers, and to you, the members of the X Zone Nation, thank you for being there. Don't forget, if you can help someone, do something positive in somebody's life, we're all part of the solution and not part of the problem. So until then, my friends, Monday night at 11 p.m. Eastern, have a great weekend, be safe, and always keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Good night, everyone.